Hey guys, Big B here. So last week I made a video showing my most recent knife pickups, and in that video I briefly showed this knife, and I had covered up the shield on it because I wanted to make a dedicated video on it, and I was still waiting on a couple of things to come in the mail. So I picked this knife up on Whatnot, and the reason it caught my eye was because the shield on it was so unique. I'd never seen anything like it, and I had no information on it other than I liked the shield and I got a great price on it. I think I paid like 35 or 40 bucks for it. So let's go ahead and take a look. And as you can see, it's got a shield that says Jimmy Allen. Now, I had no idea who Jimmy Allen was. I knew who made the knife. I knew that it was just something that I had to have because I had never seen anything like it before. But it's got bone handles and the wings with Jimmy Allen. So I'd started doing some research after I bought it, and it has a really cool story behind it. So the Air Adventures of Jimmy Allen was a radio show from 1933 till 1937. And these two World War I flying aces were freelance writers after World War I ended. And they were working for a newspaper, and they came up with an idea for a radio show where a 16-year-old boy, Jimmy Allen, was fighting crime and going on adventures and aviation, all kinds of cool stuff that would be appealing to a young audience, young boys. And so Jimmy Allen had two sidekicks, Speed Robertson and Flash Lewis. And this was a very popular show. And while it was being aired, they started making merchandise for the show. One of those being a Jimmy Allen jackknife. And this was made by Robeson. You can see there, Robeson Sure Edge. And it's definitely been used, definitely been carried, but that just, to me, that adds so much more to this knife, because if you think about the time period when this show was being aired, 1933 to 1937, and the younger boys that were listening to this show, if they were 8 to 14 years old, those were the same boys or young men that went and fought in World War II. So just, it leaves it up to your imagination. Did the kid that owned this, did he end up over in Europe fighting the Nazis? Did he end up being a pilot? It leaves a lot for you to think about. And I just think that that's such a cool piece right there, and has such a cool story with a lot of history behind it. So after I found that out, and I'll put the article down below so that you could read it yourself, I started thinking, I was like, this needs to be a display piece. And so that's why I went ahead, I got on eBay, and I wanted to get an airplane. And then I also got this postcard right here. And I think that this is going to look great with the knife, the plane, and this postcard all in my display case. And I'll show that at the end of the video here. But just really, really cool. You can see there, it's a fast-moving show packed full of action, mystery, and hair-raising, breathtaking thrills. A really new, big in radio entertainment. Get in on this exciting program, and you'll be back every night in the week. It's bound to please every member of the family. And so I just thought that was a really cool addition to put this up and display this knife. and I'm very, very happy to own it. So pretty cool. 622100. Still has great walk and talk. The bone on it is in excellent condition. But that shield is so cool. There's also, I think it's called an outing knife that you could also get, and that was a fixed blade with the sheath, and I think that is the more sought after out of the two. So there was the jackknife and the outing knife, but I'm happy to have this one right here. So that's the Jimmy Allen knife. If you're interested, click on the link down below. You could read the story on the I think it's Blade Forums where I found all the information on this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, it leaves a lot to the imagination to think, where this knife was and who owned it, and the radio show, it's like, did my grandpa, did he listen to that radio show? Because that would have been right when he was about 9-10 years old. He was born in 1924. And so did my grandpa listen to the Air Adventures of Jimmy Allen? It's just it's such a cool piece of history, and I'm gonna be very proud to display it in my display case. So I'll go ahead and cut the video here and show you what it looks like when it's displayed. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, here it is in my display case. So this is a kind of a work in progress. I also have the Girl Scout knife over here from the 1940s with a Girl Scouts handbook from the same time era. But I think that looks pretty cool in my display case here. And up here we got some more stuff going on. Here's the Buck 307 that I put new handles on. That came from a family friend named Chuck. So that's Chuck's Buck. And then there's the Purple Heart case moose that I put new handles on with the old handles that were on it. And that one belonged to Steve Martinez. And then just some other various knives that mean some, have some meaning to them. That one right there was given to my dad by J.C. Mountain Ajar. And then up top here, that knife right there was given to me by Big J. And we have a Remington. These two knives right here are the Gerbers that me and my dad put new handles on. Got a very a rare buck right there. The GEC fixed blade was given to me by JC Mountain Ajar. This 47 Stockman was given to me by Jersey Knife Guy Pete. And I got some Zippos in the background there. But it's a work in progress, and it's starting to look really, really good. So got some more work to go, but just wanted to share this one with you for right now. All right, you guys, so I just wanted to come back real quick and say thank you for watching the video and checking out the Jimmy Allen Robeson jackknife. Yeah, so I've been working on that display case for a little while now. It's definitely not in its final form, but it's starting to look good, and it's got some great looking knives and some sentimental knives in there. So I'll eventually down the line I'll come back and give you guys an updated look at it, but for right now it's starting to come together, and I just wanted to show you what it looked like with the airplane and the postcard and the knife. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. So that's about it, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And as always, I thank you guys for stopping by. And remember, live life on the edge. Take it easy, guys.